ago.
What can you tell us about Donovan?
Left ankle injury. He'll get a MRI tomorrow.
So obviously there's just not much more you can say as far as availability.
I mean, no idea. I mean, obviously he could go in the second half. So, see what the MRI says.
And I imagine this would be one of those games where you don't watch much of the film. But what happened in the first half that just got away
I
from
mean, complete domination by them is really, it's kind of the story, kind of in every facet. It wasn't like, tactics or anything involved. They dominated us in every facet of the game, and that's why we got a 20-point game, or really 30-point game.
Dan.
Kenny, how did Donovan hurt his ankle?
I am not exactly sure.
And then we've talked about force, and that I think is kind of what you're getting at with the first half wasn't there. Why did you think you guys didn't have that tonight?
They dominated with their force. They raised their game to another level, and we didn't match it. We talked about it. We knew it was coming. I don't know. You try to prepare for these things. You try to prepare your guys mentally, but for whatever reason, they like I said, they were at another level. Their force was greater in every sense. There wasn't like, this aspect or rebound. I thought it was rebounding. Physicality. We're running our offense at half court. They had us pushed out. Couldn't get to our spots. It was really kind of physical domination.
Spencer.
What was the message going into halftime? Obviously, it's a shell-shocking feeling.
Listen, I try to turn positive. Let's, pride, compete, composure, because I didn't want it to be about the referees. It's not about that. So one of our guys keep our composure, compete with class, right? And then stay together. That was basically the message.
And on the positive note, DG definitely found a little bit of a rhythm there in the
Yeah,
second half. Is that something that can carry over?
Yeah, obviously, a few guys, got minutes that they normally didn't get to. Ice looked good there. So, hey, listen, we got 2 out of the 3 next games at home. We're great at home. Got to get the next one. See if we can come back here for Game 6.
Yeah, talking about Darius for a minute, I guess I was wondering with the score being what it was at half. I thought with the toe, maybe he doesn't play the second half, but you play him and he ends up with 21. So.
Yeah, I asked him. I said, "You tell me, like, we got to think about, Game 5." And he wanted to get his rhythm, which I completely understand. I think he felt better, thought he was moving better. So that's a real positive. Hopefully we get Donovan back. Like I said, you go get Game 5 and you're back here for Game 6.
What did you think of everything that happened with Matherin and Hunter?
Listen, that's not why I'm in this league. I'm not in it for the fights and the pushing and the punches. I just don't. I don't think it. I love that. About the. That's the direction it goes. I was just telling our guys, keep our composure. You got to be above. You get punched, you got to be above, right? You got to kind of turn the other cheek. I said, Dre, don't react. It's hard, but they obviously came out with an intent, a physicality intent, and but I did, for the most part, Joe. I think we kept our composure, but listen, this is like Dan said, this is a game about force, and they were just much more forceful in every aspect.
Anything else? Derek?